everybody, welcome to another episode of Wahoos Weekly, your weekly in-depth look at the Pensacola Blue Wahoos on and off the field. I'm Blue Wahoos broadcaster Erik Bremer. He's my broadcast partner, Charlie Hobert. And Charlie, Blue Wahoos this week are back at home for the final series before the All-Star break. Blue Wahoos are playing the Montgomery Biscuits, a familiar foe, though one that we haven't seen since April. So we'll be curious to see this week how the Wahoos fare against a team that year in and year out always seems to end up in the playoffs.
Yeah, they knocked out two of those series early in the first month of the year. That first series was even shortened a little bit, just 2 games at home. So it'll be good for the Wahoos to play the Biscuits again in Blue Wahoo Stadium. And I think it's safe to say that team from week 1 and this team here are 2 completely different teams, not only just with the roster turnover, but with the quality of play and with the way they've been playing. So it'll be nice to welcome them back in. A little more confidence under their belt. They're seasoned. They got some young guns. They're no longer with Milbrandt, who faced them on opening day, but a great opportunity.
And the Blue Wahoos are just happy to be back at home. Blue Wahoos the last 2 weeks were on the road facing the Chattanooga Lookouts and then the Rocket City Trash Pandas. 12 road games in 13 days. I lived it. You've been experiencing it from afar, but there's no place like home, as they say. Tap your heels together a couple times. Blue Wahoos really enjoy playing at Blue Wahoo Stadium because of the home field advantage, because of the fans, and because of the routine that they're afforded at home that they simply don't get on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of traveling regardless because they do flip-flop home series, road series, home series, road series, and we already knocked out the one double homestand. But it's just different, you know, when you're on the road, when you're in hotels, getting to be part of that routine, not just the baseball routine, but like your life routine, waking up. What do you do differently in the morning? Maybe you make breakfast, maybe you go for a run, but you don't know the area in Montgomery, whatever it is. So it's great for them to be back home. Traveling is tough, especially when it's this consistent. So it's good for them to be back home, and they're feeling good.
I think, Charlie, you have been tasked with taking care of my plants during the 2-week road trip. I can tell you, upon returning from a 2-week road trip, the milk in my fridge is bad, so don't drink it. But it'll be nice to get back home. Blue Wahoos are also heading right into the All-Star break, where everyone gets some time off. What are you going to be doing over the All-Star break, Charlie?
All-Star break? I got some plans. We're going to go visit my little sister out in Boston. Romp around, see what happens. My grandma lives up in Vermont, so we're going to make the trip up to Vermont, go see her. I haven't seen her in a long time. And, you know, just kind of take it out of gear. What about you, Erik? What's your plans?
Well, as we air this, the premiere date will actually be the date that I fly out of town. I'm going to visit some family up in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. You're going to be filling in for me on the broadcast. My dad's going into the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame, so that'll be thank you. And that'll be fun, but also fun for you to fly solo and get a couple opportunities to broadcast a game without me weighing you down.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I am excited. I filled in for you once already this season. In Biloxi, it felt great because it was the Wahoos' first win of the year, so I was able to kind of rub that in a little bit. But I'm excited to be able to do it at home. Yes, the responsibilities are upped a little bit, but it's familiar. I'm not taking the bus in. I know when to come in. I'm familiar with the space. I'm familiar with the staff. So I'm super excited, and I'll get hopefully 27 innings. The weather's been a little rough as of late, but get 27 innings, have a good time, and see some Wahoos wins.
If the Wahoos are leading in the 9th inning, and typically you're going down to conduct the post-game interview, are you just going to shout the questions down from the booth?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I've purchased a megaphone. It should be getting in before the series, and we'll see whose attention I can get. I won't really have much say in who I'm talking to,
right?
But I'll certainly talk to somebody.
Well, I'm guessing if you have a megaphone, you'll be addressing everyone, whether you want to or not.
I'll get a lot of answers.
Let's talk a little bit about the baseball team because the Blue Wahoos are now into the second half of the season. It's not so much the All-Star break that marks the halfway point of the season in minor league baseball because we're already a couple weeks into that, but the Blue Wahoos continuing to evolve their roster. We've seen some promotions. We've seen some new arrivals. One guy that we haven't yet talked about on this show is Holt Jones, who is someone who was drafted all the way back in 2021, finally healthy, and he's got good stuff. He had a really strong first impression, and he has the building blocks of becoming a really effective late inning reliever.
Yeah, I mean, for one, just look at him. He's 6'7". He's humongous.
Hard not to look at him.
Hard not to look at him. You can spot him from a mile away. High velocity fastball, but he's not strikeout or nothing. He pitches to soft contact, and that's kind of, I don't want to call it a lost art, but it's easy for that to get lost in a sea of high velocity strikeout guys, especially coming out of the bullpen. So for a guy to go out there and you got to run around first and you got a chance to get a double play, Holt Jones is a guy that you're going to go to and not some, I don't want to say expect it, but he's certainly a guy that can deliver that for you. He's been a real shot in the arm. The bullpen has had its struggles this year, and he's been a brand new arm who has been just so reliable in that back half. And hopefully we get to send him on to AAA relatively soon, but for now we're going to be happy he's here. We're going to lean on him a lot.
We've talked with Blue Wahoos catcher Ryan Ignafo on this show, but we haven't maybe given due credit to the other Blue Wahoos catchers. It's now a three-man rotation with everyone getting some time behind the plate and maybe getting some time at DH or first base, but Garrett Forrester and Connor Cascanet have both been plus bats in the opportunities that they've gotten in the lineup.
I mean, playing inconsistently is beyond difficult in any sport, but especially in baseball. You're seeing different guys every day. When you're not consistently out there getting reps, it can be really tough to stay consistent in your quality of play, and that is something that Garrett Forrester has done so well. I mean, it's honestly so impressive the way he's been able to keep his bat hot, stay productive, go the other way. I mean, put together quality at-bats. And then Connor Cascanet, it's his second go-around in Double-A. He was up here a little bit last season. He's finding his power stroke a little bit. I mean, Ryan Ignafo, of course, is the best defensive catcher on this roster, and he's offensively consistent. You really got to tip your cap. I mean, that's also, one would argue, the hardest position to play in the game, and they all do it just so well.
Finally, before we send it to a break, our guest this week is Blue Wahoos outfielder Fenwick Trimble. We've known Fenwick for a while now. He's one of the longer tenured Blue Wahoos players, but you, Charlie, in your first year, have gotten to see him kind of not from the ground up, but in the middle of his development. So what has impressed you about Fenwick Trimble and the way that he's grown as a player here in 2026?
His approach. I mean, he went through a really tough stretch to begin the season, but he is so unafraid to go the other way, to go back up the box, up the middle. Yes, it's fun to pull the ball. Yes, it's fun to hit home runs, but he doesn't, that's not his goal. He goes in there and he says, let's just work good at bat and hit the ball. See ball, hit ball. That's what my coach used to say, and Fenwick does that perfectly.
See ball, hit ball, take a break. We'll be right back with Fenwick Trimble here on Wahoos Weekly.
At A1 Automotive, we do it all kinds of repairs for all kinds of vehicles. We do AC repairs, we do suspensions, we do pre-purchase inspections. We'll diagnose your problem and get it fixed. Free brake inspection. We can provide financing for any work we do. Veteran-owned, military, and first responders discounts. A1 Automotive, 403 Beverly Parkway, Pensacola.
Gilmarine, your one-stop shop for all your boating needs. We offer a vast selection of parts, accessories, and electronics. Discover our range of used boats in every size, shape, and brand, all ready to get you on the water today. And we provide expert advice and top-notch customer service to ensure you have the best boating experience. We service all outboard, inboards, stern drives, jet drives, and personal watercraft. Our certified staff will get you back on the water. Visit Gilmarine at 3541 West Fairfield Drive, Pensacola.
Hey folks, Winston Lindsay here with Living Southern Homes in Brewton, Alabama. We just want to remind you our new show will be coming on at 5:30 on Mondays on Blab TV and also Thursday at noon. Don't miss these opportunities. We will see you then.
Welcome to Howard Young Flooring. We would like to invite you to visit our showroom and experience the perfect home flooring collection where shopping is easy and fun. At Howard Young Flooring, we look forward to covering your future.
Nestled in the heart of Pensacola, Dorothy's is a one-of-a-kind, community-driven cocktail bar by Oasis, Florida, created to sustain vital HIV and STI care across the Florida Panhandle. Inspired by the Wizard of Oz, rooted in inclusion and dripping with character, Dorothy's is a welcoming space with award-winning Oz-inspired cocktails, food by Steel Pony Diner, and an unmatched atmosphere. Join us 7 days a week in downtown Pensacola, located directly across from Maritime Park and the Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wahoos Weekly. I'm Blue Wahoos broadcaster Erik Bremer, and my guest this week is Blue Wahoos outfielder Fenwick Trimble. Fenwick, we've gotten to know you for a little more than a year now here in Pensacola, but hopefully we get to know you a little bit more now here on Wahoos Weekly. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm going to start where I am asked to start every time I meet a new broadcaster in the Southern League and they go through the roster. Fenwick. There has never been a Fenwick to play Major League Baseball. You're hoping to become the first. I know this story, but our viewers might not. How did you get the name Fenwick Trimble?
Yeah, I was named after Fenwick Island, Delaware. My dad grew up living there in the summers and worked there all of his college and high school times. And yeah, it's just my parents thought it'd be a great place, somewhere that we loved, and great place to name me after. So.
A couple weeks ago, we celebrated Play Ball Weekend, and I asked a bunch of different players to send in photos of them playing Little League. You sent me a great photo of you, pretty young, playing baseball, but you could tell just from an early age, I saw that photo and I was like, that is a ball player. So how did you become a ball player?
I don't know. I think it started, with my parents. They raised us. It was an athletic family. I have an older brother, always competing with him. Played football, basketball, and baseball growing up, all the way through high school. And then I think, being that little brother always helped a lot because I was always trying to get back at my older brother. So it was one of those things, like always being competitive, always trying to win. And I just love sports. And I think that helped shape me to be a baseball player the best I am.
Athletic family and kind of a military discipline as well because of your dad. Take me through your dad's athletic journey and how that has impacted you.
Yeah, he played college basketball and football at the United States Merchant Marine Academy up in New York. He was a basketball player first, but he walked onto the football team for 2 years, I believe. But I feel like from a young age, he always taught us, play hard, work hard, be humble. And I think those are kind of things that carry a long way in the game of baseball, especially.
Seen a lot of different professional athletes come out of a military family. Was there ever a thought to maybe joining the military, or was professional sports kind of the avenue you wanted to take from an early age?
Yeah, I'll say I always have had the biggest respect for military and their families and what they do for our country. But I think I've always wanted to be a professional athlete more. But it definitely is something that I would have considered if sports wasn't a forefront of, I guess, my childhood and what I wanted to do.
I would imagine, like most professional athletes, you were the best player on your team growing up. But at what point did you feel like you could actually make a go at becoming a professional athlete?
I think, honestly, after my freshman year of high school baseball, I wanted to be the starting quarterback for my high school football team, and I thought that was going to be the path I was going to take. But then I ended up playing my freshman season and then summer ball after for baseball. And I think my coaches kind of were like, yeah, you have a good shot at being like going to play Division I baseball, and then like even some guys were saying like we think you could be a professional baseball player as well. I think that was kind of the moment where I realized like, oh, baseball could be a legitimate option as a career. And so I stopped playing football actually that year and was more focused on baseball. Still played basketball as well, but baseball I think at that moment was kind of where my dreams and what I thought I could be a professional at.
Take me through the college recruitment process and how you ended up making the choice you did.
Yeah, it was really between James Madison University and Old Dominion University. I got recruited by Virginia Tech and a lot of mid-majors in Virginia as well. But it was really down to James Madison and Old Dominion, and I chose JMU. Really liked the campus, the coaching staff, and I felt at home at JMU, which was really cool from a early on time.
Feeling at home can mean different things for different college students, athletes or otherwise. What did that mean to you?
The campus felt safe. I knew the academics were good. I knew the coaching staff was really good. I had some older guys from my area playing there as well, and they all had nothing but great things to say about it. And it was one of those things, it was 3.5 hours away from home, so it was close enough. If something happened, I could drive home, but just far enough to be away from home at the same time. But it was, I loved everything about it, the campus, the area. and I ended up loving it. So it was the right decision.
To be drafted where you were by the Marlins, I would have to imagine some other teams had expressed interest in you, but what was the draft day experience like for you?
It was wild. My agent did a really good job of kind of explaining to me of what was going to happen, and sure enough, he was kind of spot on exactly what happened. We knew I probably wasn't going day one, and then day two, he said it could happen anywhere from 4th to 10th round, I think it was, and nothing in the 3rd round, and then it all happened really quick. Come the 4th round, I think I was lined up to be Houston's 4th round pick, and then Miami slid right in right before it, and he was quick text, "Hey, they're taking you here. Congrats, enjoy it." Look up from my phone, TV screen froze, which was I didn't get to watch it live, which is funny. So my phone started blowing up with text messages, and I guess people had seen that I had gotten drafted, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't get to watch it live," but we then got to play it back and watch it. But it was a really cool experience. It all happened so quick, which was awesome.
You get drafted early by the Marlins, so you're thinking, okay, they believe in me. Then you become the first member of your draft class to reach Pensacola AA. So now you're thinking, they really believe in me. What is your understanding of your own game that has the Marlins so excited about the way you play baseball?
Yeah, I think I've always been, I wouldn't say I have a crazy standout tool, but I would say I'm pretty good at most of aspects of baseball, whether it's IQ, whether it's hitting, whether it's fielding. I just think I'm a well-rounded player that maybe doesn't have the biggest standout tools, but is just a ball player that loves to compete, can win games, and yeah, I think that's a big thing. Just trying to continue to do things that I know I can be successful at.
You got here early last year, made a strong first impression, but then you suffered an injury that cost you a couple months. How did that set you back, and what was the rehab process like to make sure you still ended the 2025 season on, if not a high note, at least a grace note?
Yeah, unfortunately with the hamstring, it was a pretty good strain. So I was out for 2 months, and that rehab process, they did a great job with me down in Jupiter. Built me up in every way, physically, emotionally, mentally. Feel like I got really strong again, and was able to come back for the last 2 months of the season and finish strong, which was great. But yeah, it was, 2 months of no play, just rehab and try and do what you can do to stay in baseball shape and get healthy again. And then I ended up going to the fall league and making up at bats, which was great. And I think that was a great experience for me and my development as a player as well.
Yeah, fall league is an offense-friendly environment, but you still manage to put up pretty good numbers compared to the rest of your cohort. What was the fall experience like in terms of building up your confidence heading into the offseason?
Yeah, I think one, making up the at-bats that I missed from the injury, but two, being around different organizations and teammates and coaches. Got to hear like a different perspective on things, which sometimes is nice. You every day you're very, I say, live, die, repeat of you're doing the same things over and over, working, developing, and you get very sometimes narrow-minded about what the right way to do things is. And I think hearing the different ways that other organizations teach and coaches have different coaching styles and things they value, it was cool, and it was cool to hear that side of the game kind of experience a little bit different of some things work, some things don't kind of thing, which was great. I really enjoyed that, and then the teammates that I played with were all great players. Got to play with some awesome players and teammates, so that was fun also.
You mentioned that you were the first member of your draft class to reach AA, and when you joined the Blue Wahoos in May of 2025, you were the young kid in the clubhouse. Now, just a little more than a year later, you're suddenly the grizzled veteran. I don't know if grizzled is the right word.
Oh yeah, it's true though.
You've got a bit more experience. So
yeah.
How has your stature in the clubhouse changed as now players younger than you look up to you as the veteran leader?
Yeah, like you said, I was a young guy last year. I was talking to someone about this the other day. It's a completely different clubhouse. When I came in last year, I was, like you said, youngest guy and looking up to all these guys, trying to get soak up as much information as possible. And then this year, I'm one of the longer times in AA on the team, which is interesting. But yeah, just trying to. We're all still so young, so it's like we're just trying to all get better, get promoted, make it to the big leagues eventually. Like it's all the same goal, but just trying to keep the guys together and especially going into end of the first half. We're trying to keep winning and hopefully clinch a spot.
The phrase "keep the guys together," yeah, that's on the clubhouse leaders, but it's also on the manager, and that's one of the few connective pieces from last year's team to this year's team. Nelson Prott is back for another year. What is his leadership style, and how has he, as you say it, kept the clubhouse together?
Yeah, he's awesome. We all love him. He has a slogan, "This is your big leagues" for us. So you treat every day like it's your big leagues. And how would you act if you were in the big leagues? And it's a good perspective to have, especially in the heat down here. It sometimes gets all the work gets a lot more exhausting with the heat. But just having that one day at a time, this is your big league focus. Like, treat it as it's your big leagues, it's your job, it's your career. Stack the days, and the guys stay together with that.
There have been, by and large, 5 guys who have been in the Blue Wahoos outfield this year, and all 5 of them are athletic enough to play center field. You've gotten a little time in center, but you've also played some in the corners. Where are you most comfortable, and how has it been a challenge, perhaps a growth opportunity for you, to not know, looking at the lineup card every day, whether you're playing in left, center, or right?
Yeah, playing a lot of last year in center, I definitely got used to playing center field. There's a lot more space out there to run around, and I feel like I can get good breaks from center field, not worrying about fences or walls or anything like that. But learning the corners. I've played corners in college, so all outfield positions I'm comfortable in. But definitely, playing the corners again, you got to start reading slice balls and like hooked balls. At first this year, I feel like it was a little bit of I got to kind of relearn this, but it's starting to click a little bit, and just happy to be in the lineup and can't complain about where you're playing in the lineup. So
There's playing the outfield, and then there's playing the outfield at Blue Wahoo Stadium. It's a nice field, good fans. There aren't too many sharp angles with the outfield walls, but you've got turf, which can sometimes be different in many ways, and you've also got the wind coming off the bay. So how is playing the outfield at Blue Wahoo Stadium different than the other ballparks in which we play in the Southern League?
yeah, well, as much as it's the defense, it's also the hitting too. Like, it's a tough ballpark to hit in, and all these guys come from the other teams, and like, oh, we hate hitting here. It's the wind's always blowing in, but it's funny. When the wind is usually coming from right field, so balls that are hit to right field, you can't give up on them. Like, they're always going to be moving and dying in. But just always having your eye on the flag, it swirls around sometimes. It's tough and it's not easy, but just trying to always stay focused on what the wind's doing, what the lighting's doing, the shadows, helps a lot.
You're a fun guy. I've enjoyed having a conversation with you, but when you get on the field, you're all about your business. Something that is very different from that vibe is the Savannah Bananas. And your brother South, who you mentioned was very close to you growing up and kind of helped get the best out of you. Your brother actually plays in banana ball for the firefighters, right?
Right, yeah.
So how have you navigated that relationship? Not that there's any friction, but like, he's playing baseball in a very, very different manner than you are in the professional game.
Right, yeah. It's he loves what he's doing, and I think that's the coolest part for me, is that he's enjoying what he's doing. Obviously, he would want to be playing professional baseball, but it's good that he's still playing and affecting so many, like, the younger generation of kids and baseball players, which is pretty cool. They do so much over there for the community and fans and all that, which is something that's really cool. And he's enjoying it, and it's fun seeing the social media bits of him and all that stuff. So he's also doing his card trick magic, like Instagram stuff, which is also hilarious. But yeah, I mean, like I said, he's enjoying it, and I'm happy for him that he's happy.
Is there any carryover between his skill set and your skill set? Like, do you have card tricks? Can you do a backflip?
I can do maybe one card trick,
Okay.
but it's a pretty simple one.
We might
Can't
hold you
do a
to that.
backflip. No, yeah, he's a lot more talented in those aspects than me.
All right, well, we'll get back to your baseball talents that will hopefully get you onto the next level, perhaps even by the time this episode airs. You've been in Pensacola longer than a lot of people. You've certainly put up the numbers. You're among the Southern League leaders in hits, doubles, extra base hits, total bases, stolen bases. You're also creeping up on that list too. But what are your goals for the rest of the 2026 season?
Yeah, one, stay healthy and continue to work each day. Goals for performance-wise, I think I don't really have any extreme goals. I take it one day at a time, and wherever they're at the end of the year, I'll I'll be happy with it. Like it's one of those things. We work so hard every day, and just continue to be in the moment, not take what I'm doing for granted, and like I said earlier, clinch. Hopefully, we've clinched the playoffs, and yeah, I mean it's exciting. It's going to be an exciting second half.
There are a lot of quality outfielders on this Pensacola team with AAA Jacksonville and in the big leagues, but I'm sure you picture in your mind's eye the journey to get to where you want to be. What will it take for you? Like, what are you working on to try and become the best version of yourself?
Yeah, from a baseball standpoint, hitting the ball in the air, it's something I worked on a lot this year, being more consistent at those optimal launch angles. But for me, it's like, how do I get to that spot and be good at that? It's being locked in on my approach, knowing the type of pitcher, what he's throwing me, which pitches I can do damage on, and just really working at bats. I think I get in trouble when I'm trying to just go try and hit a home run. Like, I have to be a little more technical with my approach and hitting than other guys maybe have to be. But that's something, like, on the mental side, I love diving into. I love picking apart pitchers, finding tips, just the game within the game. Like, I love that part about it, which is pretty cool. But sticking to myself, not getting too big. I think that's just take it one day at a time, and it'll hopefully all work out.
Finally, of course, we hope your stay in Pensacola doesn't last forever, but in the time that you've been here, you've made an impact in the community, with our fans. You're out there visiting hospitals and doing youth clinics and things like that. How much have you enjoyed your time here in Pensacola so far?
It's been great. It's a breath of fresh air every day when you come to the field, pulling into the parking lot right on the water. I think the fans are great. Everyone in the community feels like it revolves around the Blue Wahoos, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's just a breath of fresh air to come to the ballpark every day, and I've enjoyed my time here a lot.
Well, we've enjoyed our time with you today. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Wahoos Weekly.